On May 2nd, 2025, something big happened in Canadian politics that has folks across the country buzzing with excitement. Damien Kurek, a hardworking Conservative MP from Alberta's Battle River Crowfoot riding, announced he's stepping down from his seat. Why? To give Pierre, the fiery and fearless leader of the Conservative Party, a chance to run in a by-election and get back to Parliament. This move is a game-changer, and it's got people talking about how Poilievre is set to shake things up when Parliament reopens. Let's break it down in simple terms. Why this is great news for Alberta, why Poilievre is guaranteed to win this by-election, and how he's going to hold the Liberals accountable for their sneaky tricks in the last election. Before we dive headfirst into the chaos, let me just say, if you could hit that subscribe button, it would be like giving us a high five from across the internet. And if this video tickled your funny bone, give that like button a good old whack. We're on a heroic quest to reach that magical 4,000-hour milestone, because who wouldn't want to monetize our delightful little hobby of entertaining you? Okay, now let's get started. First, let's give a big shout out to Damien Kurek. This guy's a fifth-generation farmer from Alberta, someone who knows what it means to roll up his sleeves and get to work. He just won his riding in the April 28, 2025 federal election with a whopping 81.8% of the vote. That's not just a win, it's a landslide. People in Battle River Crowfoot love him, and for good reason. He's been fighting for them since 2019, standing up for farmers, small businesses, and everyday Canadians who just want a fair shake. But Kurek did something amazing. He decided to step aside, giving up his seat so Pierre Poilievre could run in a by-election. Why would he do that? Because Kurek knows Canada needs Poilievre in Parliament right now. The Liberals, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, are running a minority government, which means they don't have full control. Poilievre, as the leader of the official opposition, is the guy who can keep them in check. Kurek called it a selfless act, and Poilievre himself took to X to say, "It is with humility and appreciation that I have accepted Damien Kurek's offer to resign his seat in Battle River Crowfoot." This kind of teamwork and sacrifice is what makes the Conservative Party special. It's about putting Canada first. So, why is everyone so excited about Pierre Poilievre getting back to Parliament? Let's talk about who this guy is. Poilievre's been a member of Parliament for 20 years, representing Carleton in Ontario until he lost his seat in the last election. He's known for his sharp tongue, quick wit, and no-nonsense style. When he talks, people listen. Whether it's calling out government waste, fighting for lower taxes, or standing up for freedom, he's the kind of leader who doesn't just sit back and let the Liberals do whatever they want. He's in there, asking tough questions, demanding answers, and making sure Canadians know what's really going on. Right now, the Liberals are in a shaky spot. They won the election, but only barely, forming a minority government. That means they need support from other parties like the NDP or Bloc Québécois to pass laws. This is where Poilievre comes in. As the leader of the Conservatives, he's going to be the watchdog Canada needs. When Parliament reopens, he'll be front and center, holding the Liberals accountable for every promise they break, every tax they raise, and every sneaky move they try to pull. And trust me, the Liberals have been pulling some shady tricks. More on that later. Let's talk about this by-election in Battle River Crowfoot. If you're wondering whether Poilievre has a shot at winning, let me put it simply. He's going to crush it. Battle River Crowfoot is one of the most conservative-friendly ridings in Canada. It's a rural area in Alberta, full of hardworking farmers, oil workers, and small-town folks who value freedom, family, and fairness. These are Poilievre's people. They don't want big government telling them what to do, and they sure don't trust the Liberals to look out for them. Just look at the numbers. In the last election, Damien Kurek won with 81.8% of the vote. The Liberals, they got a measly 6.9%. That's not even close. This riding has been conservative for years, and Poilievre is the party's leader, a rock star in conservative circles. When he announced he'd run here, folks in Alberta were thrilled. One farmer in Camrose told Yahoo News Canada, "Pierre's the guy we need, he gets us." Another local said, "Kurek did the right thing. Poilievre's going to fight for Alberta." The by-election hasn't been scheduled yet, but Prime Minister Carney said he'll call it as soon as possible.
I've already indicated to Mr. Poilievre that if it's the decision of him and the Conservative Party to trigger, if I can put it that way, a by-election, I will ensure that it happens as soon as possible. No games, nothing, straight.
Okay. That's good news, because the sooner Poilievre gets to Parliament, the better. The Liberals might try to put up a fight, but they're no match for Poilievre in a place like Battle River Crowfoot. He's got the name recognition, the track record, and the passion to win big. Plus, with Kurek campaigning for him, Kurek says he'll be back to run in the next general election. Poilievre's got a local hero in his corner. This by-election is as good as won. Now, let's get to the part that's got a lot of Canadians mad, how the Liberals managed to squeak out a win in the last election. The April 28, 2025 election was a tough one. Poilievre and the Conservatives fought hard, but they came up short, losing to Mark Carney's Liberals. Poilievre even lost his own riding of Carleton to a Liberal named Bruce Fanjoy. How did this happen? A lot of folks are pointing fingers at the Liberals' sneaky tactics, and one of their biggest allies, the CBC. The CBC, Canada's taxpayer-funded broadcaster, has been cozy with the Liberals for years. During the election, it seemed like they were working overtime to prop up Carney and tear down Poilievre. Night after night, CBC news shows painted the Liberals as the only choice for progressive Canadians, while Poilievre was called everything from divisive to dangerous. They cherry-picked stories to make the Liberals look good, like hyping up Carney's promises on climate change and housing, while ignoring the fact that the Liberals have been in power for years and haven't fixed those problems. Meanwhile, Poilievre's common-sense plans, like cutting taxes, scrapping the carbon tax, and making life more affordable, barely got a fair shake. When the CBC did cover him, it was often to twist his words or dig up some old quote to make him look bad. Social media was full of Canadians calling it out. One ex-post said CBC's basically the Liberal Party's PR team. No wonder Poilievre got screwed. Another wrote, "Taxpayers fund the CBC, but they only serve Carney. Disgraceful." It wasn't just biased reporting. Some folks believe the Liberals played dirty behind the scenes. There were whispers of strategic voting campaigns where Liberal insiders pushed people to vote for anyone but the Conservatives, even if it meant supporting the NDP or Greens. In Poilievre's riding of Carleton, the race was razor close, and some say last-minute attack ads, funded by Liberal-friendly groups, tipped the scales. Juno News called Poilievre's loss narrow and controversial, and they're not wrong. The Liberals pulled out every trick in the book, and the CBC was their megaphone. This kind of manipulation is just plain wrong. Canadians deserve a fair election where every party gets a chance to make their case without a government-funded broadcaster picking sides. The CBC's bias helped the Liberals limp into a minority government, but it's not going to help them now. With Poilievre back in Parliament, he's going to shine a light on every shady move they make. When Pierre Poilievre steps into the House of Commons, it's going to be must-watch TV. This guy doesn't mess around. He's got a knack for cutting through the Liberals' fancy talk and getting to the truth. Whether it's grilling Carney on broken promises or exposing wasteful spending, Poilievre's going to make sure the Liberals can't hide. Here's what we can expect when Parliament reopens. Fighting for affordability. Canadians are struggling with high prices, groceries, gas, rent, you name it. The Liberals keep saying they'll fix it, but their plans like the carbon tax just make things worse. Poilievre's been crystal clear. He wants to axe the carbon tax and cut red tape so businesses can create jobs and lower costs. He'll hammer the Liberals every day until they start listening to regular folks, calling out waste. The Liberals love spending taxpayer money on pet projects and bloated programs. Poilievre's already got a reputation for sniffing out waste, like when he exposed the Liberals' $400 million green slush fund that went to connected insiders. He'll keep digging, making sure every dollar is spent wisely, standing up for freedom. From vaccine mandates to online censorship, the Liberals have been pushing policies that chip away at Canadians' rights. Poilievre's a fierce defender of free speech and personal freedom. He'll make sure the Liberals don't get away with overreaching. Taking on the CBC, Poilievre's been vocal about reforming the CBC, saying it should either be fair to all Canadians or lose its funding. After the way they propped up the Liberals in the election, you can bet he'll be asking tough questions about their bias and how they spend our tax dollars. The Liberals might have squeaked out a win, but they're on thin ice. With only a minority government, they can't just do whatever they want. Poilievre is going to be there, leading the charge, making sure they answer to Canadians. And with Battle River Crowfoot behind him, he's got the momentum to make waves. For folks in Battle River Crowfoot, this by-election is a chance to send a message. Alberta's been hit hard by Liberal policies. Think carbon taxes that hurt farmers and oil workers, or red tape that strangles small businesses. Poilievre gets that. He's been fighting for Alberta's interests his whole career, pushing for pipelines, energy jobs, and less government meddling. When he wins this by-election, it'll be a win for every Albertan who's fed up with Ottawa ignoring them. But it's not just about Alberta. Poilievre's return to Parliament is a win for all Canadians who want a government that listens. Whether you're a trucker in BC, a teacher in Ontario, or a fisherman in Newfoundland, Poilievre's fighting for you. He's the guy who will stand up to the elites, call out the nonsense, and push for a country where hard work pays off. As we wait for the by-election, one thing's clear. Pierre Poilievre is coming back stronger than ever. Battle River Crowfoot is going to welcome him with open arms, and when he steps into Parliament, the Liberals better watch out. He's got the skills, the passion, and the support to hold them accountable and fight for a better Canada. The Liberals might have had the CBC in their corner last election, but they can't hide forever. Poilievre's going to shine a light on their tricks, demand answers, and make sure Canadians get the government they deserve. So, to Damien Kurek, thank you for stepping up. To Pierre Poilievre, get ready, Canada's cheering you on. And to every Canadian reading this, get excited, because with Poilievre back in action, the future's looking bright. As we stand on the brink of what could be a political renaissance in Canada, one thing's for sure, the stage is set for fireworks. With Pierre Poilievre ready to charge back into the House of Commons, fueled by the selfless sacrifice of Damien Kurek, we can only imagine the riveting exchanges and fierce debates that await. Will this be the moment that reignites the spirit of true representation in our Parliament, or just another episode of political theater? No matter what happens, Poilievre has shown that he's not just running for a seat, he's rallying for a cause. It's a refreshing reminder that principled leadership and bold moves still exist, and they might just be what Canada needs right now. So, dear viewers, do you feel a flicker of hope for this upcoming by-election? What do you think about Kurek's brave choice to step aside for the greater good? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below and let the discussion begin. And if you found this analysis worth your time, give that like button a solid hit, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to us, and it helps keep the conversation alive.